What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another episode of the 5 takeaways, where we're going to take a look at the North London derby and see what 5 things we can take away from it. We can probably take a few more things away from these 5, but we have picked out 5 things to look at, and the first one we're going to look at is Arsenal get caned once again.
Once again, exactly, a common occurrence. But look, Kane, I think, picked a great time to get back to his beastly ways and get a man of the match performance. I thought he was absolutely sensational throughout the game. The stats back up. He got 9 shots, which 4 on target throughout the game. Scored obviously a brace, good penalty as well, and good back post header. He's now scored against Arsenal in 8 consecutive seasons, which is a new record for a player to score against one singular club.
Who's he taking the record off? Do you know?
Don't know, didn't say.
Okay.
So, but Harry Kane has that record, which is so impressive to have that, and against Arsenal as well. And I thought yesterday he was back to his best. Maybe he's had a few weeks where he's not been at his best, but yesterday he was back at it, and Arsenal couldn't live with him.
Yeah, I mean, we just love watching this guy play against Arsenal. I love watching him play against anyone, but against Arsenal, he feels like he got that extra edge, and he's trying that extra hard, isn't it? And like, I feel like his physical shape this year has improved so much, and he's so like his body shape and his build has got so much bigger, and it's like teams just don't know how to handle him sometimes, especially players like of Gabriel and Holding and Tomiyasu and people like that. I mean, they just didn't know how to deal with him yesterday, and that showed in the 3rd goal, how he just shrugged off anyone in his wake, and obviously the ricocheted off a player and fell to Sonny, and we get the 3rd goal. But Harry Kane was literally so good yesterday, unplayable at times, and it's great to see him back at it, because the last 3 games hasn't been that great. So we need him like this for the last 2 games of the season, that's for sure. Yeah. Which moves us on to our second takeaway, and that is no one holding Son back. Pun intended.
Definitely intended. Son, look, I thought Son was at the hub of everything that good, especially in the first half. That happened to us yesterday. He had a real tough scuffle with Rob Holding. Obviously got fouled 4 times by the same player, ultimately
in 20 minutes.
Exactly, ultimately leading for Rob Holding getting sent off. He was fouled 5 times throughout the game, but in terms of the stats, he had another really strong performance. He had 3 key passes, 2 accurate crosses. Obviously he's won the penalty for the first goal, and obviously scored a goal in the second half, and he's now scored in 3 consecutive North London derbies at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And it was look, there was no one holding him back.
There was no one holding him back. Just
someone
elbowing him in the face.
Exactly.
That's all. But nah, Sonny was absolutely brilliant. Like you said, had his hand in all 3 goals yesterday. Could have got even more as well. Got taken off early as well to get himself some rest in for the Burnley game this weekend. And you could just see what it meant to him as well. Every time a goal went in, at the end of the final whistle as well, the celebrations from him and the beaming smile off his face that lit up the whole stadium. He was just unbelievable yesterday. I thought him and Harry Kane literally were both of them were just unplayable, and they both seemed like proper men on missions yesterday to salvage North London and to get us back into that top 4 race as well. So big up Heung-min Son, brilliant performance yesterday. And let's move on to number 3, and that is smelling blood.
So yeah, Conte always say when the opponent's at his weakest, you have to smell the blood of the opponent and you have to kill them. And I think exactly what we did yesterday in the moments where Arsenal were most frail. And I think it shows by, if you look at the stats, yesterday was our 3rd highest number of pressures in the attacking third for the whole season. So we really did make sure we pressed really high up the pitch and force them under pressure. And in terms of expected goals, it was Arsenal's 3rd highest expected goals they've conceded in a game this season. Only 3rd to City and Liverpool. Only City and Liverpool got a higher XG against Arsenal this season. So we really did, when Arsenal were on the ropes, we killed them, and we thought we managed the game brilliantly. And
they got sending offs in both those games as well, didn't they?
Did they against Liverpool?
Did Xhaka not get sent off against Liverpool
That was in the cup
well?
game.
Oh, that was a cup game.
I
No,
think
maybe
in the
I'm
other
mistaken.
game it wasn't, but against City, yeah, Xhaka got sent off for that game. So I think
how many have they had this year?
Yeah, a few. Amount. Yeah, quite a few. Early in the season they had a few as well, didn't they? They definitely have a disciplinary problem. But I think that shows anyway that we really went for Arsenal yesterday when they were at their weakest, and look, we got the job done.
Yeah, and that's what I love. It's like there's one thing to smell the blood of your opponent, but there's another thing to smell the blood of Arsenal as well. That's the sweetest blood of them all, and absolutely loved everything about the performance yesterday. And it was like the easiest North London derby I've ever had to sit through. It really
definitely
was. Let's move on to the fourth takeaway, and that is crucial opening goal.
Yeah, so we talked beforehand about the opening goal, how important it was, and it proven to be. Obviously, we got the goal and Arsenal fell apart. But if you look at the stats in terms of when scoring or conceding the first goal, it's very, very telling. When Spurs take the lead under Conte, we've taken the lead 16 times. We've won 13, won 13 of them, drawn 1 and lost 1.
The loss was the Southampton.
Sorry, Joy's drawn 2 and lost 1.
So the loss was the Southampton game.
Yeah, and the 2 draws were against Liverpool, both against Liverpool.
Right.
We took the lead in both of those games. And all other games we've won, 13 of them. So very impressive record when taking the lead. Arsenal's record when conceding first, they've conceded first 12 times and lost 11 times, and only won 1 game against Wolves, no draws.
Wow.
So that
was a lucky one right at the last second.
Yeah, an own goal, like a lucky own goal. So it really goes to show in this game how important the first goal was. And look, we got it, and we made it pay.
Yeah, and it was something I consistently said coming into this game, isn't it? Because I said that, we were looking at these stats coming into the game, and we were thinking, like, in the last 4 games when Arsenal have just been just about getting over the line, it's so crucial for them to score that first goal, because once they score that first goal, they put everyone behind the ball and they defend for their lives and blah, blah, blah. We didn't give them the opportunity to do that yesterday, and it was so... I felt like if we would have scored early in the game yesterday, it could really have been a battering, and that's exactly the way it turned out. And it probably should have been more than 3 goals yesterday, let's be honest. So it played out very similar to how I thought it would, and I thought that if we could get that early goal, we could really be the dominant side throughout the game, and that's exactly how it panned out. So happy, happy days. And let's move on to the last, 5th and final takeaway, and that is in the balance.
Yeah, so look, the top 4 race now is on a knife edge. It could go either way. We've got ourselves back in it now. 1 point behind Arsenal with 2 games left. They have it in their hands, but we have the better fixtures. So it really is all to play for. I mean, it's so tough to call. We go to Burnley. We're at home to Burnley on the Sunday. They play Monday night against Newcastle away. That is probably the biggest opportunity for us to gain some ground. But final day, we're away to Norwich, at home to Everton, and I wouldn't want to. You can't rule that out either. So, whose position would you rather be in? Tough one.
I think I'd rather be in our position.
Our position.
Yeah, you know why? Because I think that first of all, with Arsenal's injuries, it's going to be very detrimental to them, in my opinion. I think to go into the Newcastle away with Holding out suspended, who's actually been quite good for them over the past couple of weeks. Gabriel potentially out injured, who's been a massive player for them. Ben White not fully fit as well, not getting any minutes yesterday and being out injured for the last couple of games. They are really short of the back now. On the flip side, yes, we've got Romero out, but I think Sanchez came in yesterday and he stood strong. So I'm not too worried about Sanchez in these last couple of games. But when you look at the 2 fixtures that both of us have as well, you look at us at home to Burnley, you should say that should be 3 points to Spurs. Last game of the season, Norwich seem to have checked out this season. They seem to be getting battered every single week, no matter who they play. So you've got to say that should be 3 points to us as well. When you're looking at Arsenal's fixtures, you can't say that Newcastle away is a guaranteed win. To be honest, you can't say Burnley and Norwich, but it's more guaranteed than Newcastle away. Let's be honest about it. And last game of the season, if Everton are still scrapping for it, that could also be a potentially hard game. So I would prefer to have our fixtures than their fixtures going into it, which in turn means I'd prefer to be in our position.
It's going to be a tight one. I think I'd still rather be in Arsenal's just because it's in their hands. But look, one slip up and that's it. It could be costly, and it's fine margins now to the end of the season. And it should be an unbelievable finish of the season. Let's hope it falls in our favour. How many times have this happened and it's fallen against us? And let's hope this time it falls for us.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope so. But those are our 5 takeaways. Let us know in the comment section below what you thought of them, and also put your takeaways in the comment section below. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Like, subscribe and comment, and as always, come on you Spurs.